What's up, ladies and gents? It's me. I'm back here. I'm back in the stew. I'm back here wearing this Barstool sweatshirt. I don't know, dude. I'm losing my mind. We had a great guest on today. Blake, I don't know how you say his last name. Zager, I think. Blake Zager. I could be butchering that. He's the creator of @findnewvibes on Instagram. It's like a music page I've been following for a long time. They just post like just cool music stuff. I don't know. And so I was like, yo, you want to come on my podcast? He's starting a podcast soon where he's going to interview different musicians and stuff. It's good stuff. We had a good talk about music, passion, how to drive content, how to drive engagement on creations. If that interests you, please keep watching. If it doesn't, get out. Okay? See ya. We're going to go to Broc's Book Corner first, where I talk about not watching the news, okay? And then after the interview, what did I talk about? Morgan Wallen saying the N-word? Something cool. Go watch it. Thanks. This is the worst intro ever. All right. I switched clothes because this is a different day. Isn't that crazy how that works? Different day. For this week's Broc's Book Corner, I'm still reading The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. I'll link that in the description if you want to check it out. It's a great book. I think I read chapter 6 last night. I've been really lax on reading. I'm going to try and do better this week, but last week was hectic, bro. So I read chapter 6, and it was, I think the title of the chapter was like the low information diet. And it's something that I've actually been preaching about for a while. It's something that I firmly believe in. Like this is an idea I've had for a while, and it's really good, and a lot of people won't accept it. So the low information diet basically is you got to take in as little information as possible throughout the day. Like, the chapter started off with like this quote by, I can't remember who, but it was basically, the gist of it was like, information takes up space. It takes up like your thought process. Like if you're reading something, there's no room to think for yourself or create with your mind. It sounds weird, but that's basically the gist of the quote. Like the more info you're taking, the less space you have to actually think. So the more you read, the less you're actually thinking for yourself, it's pretty valid, I guess. There's a lot of people that like love reading like books. Like if you're reading like, dude, they're probably watching this. They were telling me they read like 6 hours a day. Hello. What? I don't do anything for 6 hours a day. Like, but like, I think if you're reading for like 30 minutes, if you're like taking a nonfiction book or even a fiction book, I don't know, and you're just reading for like 30 minutes, I think that's harmless. I think this is mainly talking about like the news cycle, not even reading, just like intaking content that doesn't pertain to you. Like watching Fox News about transgender bathrooms. Who cares? This guy was like, if it doesn't pertain to your goals, or if it's not going to affect your goals or your life, or if it's negative, and most of the stuff that you see on the internet, to sound more like a boomer, the internet and TV and stuff, most of it is probably negative, I would say. It depends on where you're at, what you're seeking out, but if it's negative or if it doesn't pertain to your goals, throw it in the trash, cut it out. We need to cut out a lot of stuff in our lives. And that's another thing the book actually talks about that I'm a firm believer in, is just like cutting unnecessary stuff out of your life. The same person that reads 6 hours a day, has like an issue with keeping every card or gift card or paper in her little wallet. And the other day, this is a douchebag move, but the other day I took the wallet and I threw away a lot of stuff that was in it. Like, look, this is my wallet. I don't have a wallet. My wallet is on my phone. I have a debit card, a license, and like a student ID just to like fill it. You don't need a student ID. But it's like very, I feel like I might be reading too much into this, but it's like a personality trait is like don't want unnecessary stuff in my life slowing me down. You know what I'm saying? That sounds really pretentious and stupid, but it's like I want to, trim the fat. If I don't love something or if I don't need it to like help me, then I don't have it. I get rid of it. Sorry. I get rid of it. And that's another thing he talked about in the book. It's just like you got to cut out the unnecessary stuff and just work on the stuff that you need or that you're good at. I think that's a good personality trait to have. A lot of people will disagree with me and be like, "Oh no, you need to talk to every one of your family members, You need to like, have a huge group of friends and just, whatever." I trim the fat. I have like 3 good friends, and I hang out with them a lot. And I love them, and it's a good situation. And none of this makes any effing sense anymore, but that's fine. Just pay attention to the first part about the low information diet. Stop intaking so much media. Stop intaking so much media because then you can't think for yourself anymore. Low information diet. Figure it out. Go check out the book, Timothy Ferriss, The 4-Hour Work Week. Hopefully it'll be in the description if I did everything correctly. Now we're going to go on to the interview with my boy. So have fun with that. Broc Gardner versus the world. Let's go. So, what would you say you do with like? Let's talk about your Instagram page first and foremost, because that's kind of how I know you was from Find New Vibes. How did that start, and what was the reason for you making it?
Dude, honestly, I was just bored. I was just trying different shit out, and there's like not a lot of people around here who have like music tastes that I can relate to. Like everybody around here is mostly just like mainstream stuff, like Juice World, like all that. I'm not really a big fan on Juice World, like rest in peace to him and everything, but uh I don't know. Everybody around here just has similar music tastes like that. I just wanted a place where I could talk to other people who have like music tastes like I do, and then eventually it just kind of started gaining followers, and I enjoyed doing it, so I just kept up with it.
So you just wanted to start it to kind of find people with the similar music interest.
Yeah, I mean, at that time, I didn't really expect it to like get like an actual following or anything. I just kind of wanted to post about the music I liked and then have other people that like similar stuff just so I could talk to people about it. And yeah, and then eventually I just got more followers and I started doing other stuff with it.
Yeah, so what was that process like where it was like you just had this random page that you were just posting stuff on and then started to gain traction? What was the process like from there to now?
Like how did I gain the followers or
Yeah, like when you started getting more followers, what was it like changing?
okay. So yeah, basically as I grew, I kind of just got like a better eye for what content like works, what content doesn't. Like at first, if you looked at my page like a month after I started it looked terrible. Like it just looked so messy.
Mm.
There were just random videos. There were no like cover slides, so the feed would look fine. Like it would just be like all the content just scrambled. And then uh I like I think there's actually some account that said like rating Instagram pages. So I slid up and he graded
Mm.
mine like really low for like
Yeah.
aesthetics and stuff. And I was like, shit, man, I thought I was doing good with that. So yeah, once I saw that, I was like, I started looking into other things that I could like do for my page. So at first I tried like a Twitter format. I stuck with that for a while because that's what a lot of the pages are
Yeah.
doing now. And then I kind of I kind of fell off of that because it just it seemed kind of basic. I wanted like my own like you know what I mean, like my own like kind of aesthetic for my own page.
Yeah.
So I tried switching that up. I tried doing other stuff. Some stuff didn't work, and yeah, now I'm kind of just uh, making like the new format that I have now. I
Mm.
kind of trying to do that. I might make a few tweaks soon, but yeah, that's how that went.
Gotcha. So were you doing anything at the start to like try and gain a lot of followers? Was that your intention, or were you kind of just doing it for fun and then it just suddenly started
No,
gaining traction?
honestly, like the follower count for me, that doesn't really matter that much. But at first, especially, I just kind of wanted to post stuff, and then I like kind of just make some online friends and
Yeah.
like talk to them about that kind of stuff. But yeah, then like when the followers started coming in, then it becomes kind of important just because like that's kind of the purpose, just to watch
Yeah.
your page grow.
Mm.
So yeah,
Your page is kind of funny because it was the first music page that I ever followed,
yeah.
and
Oh, for
something,
real?
yeah, something funny was like your followers, like there's like such a sense of community. I don't know why specifically for your
Yeah,
page,
there
but it's
is. It's weird.
like you posted about like sometimes you'll just post on your story and it'll be like just say whatever, and there will just be like whole conversations. And
Yeah,
there was like a running bit of like Starbucks girl, like you were dating this girl that you met at Starbucks or
yeah,
something.
yeah. I'm still
Like
dating her, man.
you are actually, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I just thought that was funny. Like there's this community that like just like cared about
No,
this
there's
random guy and
definitely
his love
people.
life.
Yeah, people. Okay. Well, the first part with that was I was so she worked at Starbucks, right? And like I would just go there just to hang out. She'd give me like free coffee, free food, and stuff like that. Um, and then I was just kind of bored. I was looking for something to post. I was kind of fucking around my story. I just like took a picture of her. I was like, dare me to ask for this barista Snapchat. Like I was already dating her at the
Yeah.
time. And
Oh.
so I posted that, and then everybody was like, do it, do it, do it. So then I like took a picture and I was like, oh guys, like I got her Snapchat. So they thought that was like the original, like
Yeah.
how it happened. But yeah, that's why all that was going on. And then there's another like kind of running gag that they have where they say that I look like White Mostaf,
Oh yeah.
but I don't see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So what goes into running a music page? What goes into that specifically? What do you do on a daily basis?
um I've been slacking on it recently. I got to get back into it. I've been trying to like work and get my money up and stuff like that.
Mm.
But when I get back into it, usually the daily like kind of process that I have for it is most of the time for a post, like the longest part it takes is just like looking for content. So I'll just scroll through Instagram. Like sometimes I'll just see something I like and then I'll just save it or I'll like it or I have like a thing in my notes that I write down ideas for posts for. So yeah, I do that. And then I got Photoshop now. That's like a big upgrade. Like if you're running a music page, you got to get Photoshop. You got to make your feed look clean.
Mhm.
That's a big part of it. Not even just for hip hop Instagram, just any like yeah, any feed. Um so yeah, I have a format that I made. I worked probably like 2 weeks just trying to come up with like a new aesthetic, like new, and I'm still tweaking it too, which is why I haven't posted like recently. But yeah. So once you find like the content, I kind of just have a format that I put in there, and then that's pretty much all I have to do. I just got to look for a picture and then edit the video so it looks like all the other ones that I post.
Mhm. So what's something that like over time, over throughout this little journey, what have you picked up like that could help smaller creators kind of find followers like you have for whatever they're doing? Anything specific you can think of?
Like to find like new followers.
Yeah, just to like get out there. Is there any like random things that you've picked up on that
Actually,
have
yeah, there's so well the number one thing for like gaining followers, gaining traction and whatever is just consistency.
mm,
Because if you're just consistently posting, like I'm gonna try to do it on a daily basis when I come back to this, but that's how you get like on Explore and then have engagement like that. But when I first started to get my page like off the ground, what I used to do is I would host just these like hip hop page tournaments on my story, and people would like they would all want to join. They'd be all over it, and then obviously everybody wants their page to win it, and they
mm,
were all just smaller pages, so it's not like anything major. But when you only have like 100 followers, that's like pretty big. It's hard to get from like 0 to 1,000. That's the hardest 1,000 followers you'll have to
yeah.
get. So when I did that, everybody would just give me like free promo, free shout outs and everything just because my page was hosting that tournament. So that's the strategy I used at first. I'm sure there's a bunch of other strategies that you could use, but yeah, that 0 to 1,000. Once you get to 1,000, it's pretty easy to grow after that. But just getting off the ground is the hardest part.
What's your goals with this page? Do you have any specific goals in mind?
Man, I'm really not sure. Like long term, I would like to do something with it because like I'm pretty passionate about it. I really like working with artists, like just talking to people who make music, who enjoy just listening to music, like anything. And it's just fun having an audience because if you want to get like a message out somewhere, then it's nice to have that audience there. But yeah, long term, me and my buddy over there, he just left the room, but we do kind of want to start a podcast too.
And we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
What have you ever thought about making your own music? Because it seems like you're pretty passionate about music. Have you ever thought about
No, I haven't actually ever made my own stuff. I would like to get into that eventually. I feel like if I ever did start, I would start with like just making beats and producing stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody makes music sometimes. Like if I have people in the car and we're smoking or something, like I'll freestyle with them.
But. Yeah, gotcha. So with like productivity, that side of things, well, we were talking about consistency, and I do think that's really important for creating because
oh yeah, for sure,
it's all about like probability. Like the more stuff you put out and the more consistent you are, especially to get like somebody to follow you, because to get somebody to follow you, it's like you have to post something cool, and then you have to show that you're gonna keep posting cool stuff.
Yeah, that's why I feel like the feed, like that's such an important thing that I completely looked over when I first started doing this, because that's like right away, that's just the entire environment you're creating is just like the first. If people are watching this on YouTube, so they could see the video, this is what the feed looks like. So it's just, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got like the whole like Miami Vice colorway stuff, and I think that's sick. So I really want to keep doing that. But yeah, like that's the first thing that people notice about your page, which is just a huge thing to get followers, and again with the consistency too.
Yeah, because you want people to, because when you go to follow somebody, you want to know that they're gonna keep making stuff in the future. Because some people, you'll look and it'll be like they posted something like a month ago and then like again a year ago, and it's like, all right, well, there's no reason to follow them if they're not gonna post stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that doesn't mean like consistency. Like if you're creating anything, that's not saying like to rush it. That's just saying as soon as like put your time in there, do the best you can with that, and then as soon as that's over, like you just got to keep creating.
Yeah,
you can't just take breaks between.
I'd get on a schedule.
Like when I make a post, I have to just continue looking for content. I can't just make that one post and then be satisfied with that.
Yeah. So when you're trying to make stuff for your Instagram page and you're trying to be productive, I talked to this rapper Young Wabo. I don't know if you know him.
No, I'm not sure.
Last week in the podcast, and we like started talking about demons, which I think I want to talk about with more people on this podcast, because everybody just has like these like voices in their head that tell them to like stop doing what they're doing, whatever it is.
Yeah, man, everybody.
So when you're trying to make stuff, what do the demons tell you? Like, what does your voice in your head tell you that like if you did it, it would stop your productivity?
Well, the thing with that is like it's more of just other distractions that kind of just, at least for this page, just like takes my attention away from it a little bit. Like I had a job. I got a job like last month at a grocery store, and I just hated it because the hours were just terrible. So like that takes some time away from it. And then like I quit there already because I couldn't do that. And then I started doing some other stuff for money. And like when life happens like that, it's just other things need attention before and first off. Like even if you're just making music, if you're making art, whatever, like there's other things in your life that pop up that are going to have to come before creating whatever you want to. But if like whenever you have time, this is what I'm going to try to get better at, is I just need to make sure that I use my time like any free time I get productively and putting it towards like content creation, putting it towards making a page, putting it towards making music, whatever you want to do with. But yeah, you just got to make sure that whatever you have like free time like that, it just doesn't go to waste because it's like hard to get a lot.
Yeah. So what do you think is the best way to go about that? Like separating, managing your time, I guess, because that's something a lot of people struggle with.
Man, I might have to come do another episode of that. Come
Yeah.
back to that question because
Yeah.
I'm still struggling with that. Like, yeah, it's hard to keep yourself on pace and keep yourself on track and really just consistently do something. Like I've been trying to go to the gym. It's hard to consistently do that. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard to consistently keep posting and putting out content. But uh, I'm definitely going to try a few different things. If I'm ever on this podcast again, I'll let
Yeah.
you know, see if anything works for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah. So who are some artists that you really like that have inspired you to like make this page? What's your music type?
I'll like smaller artists
Yeah,
because
or just any.
I've really, well, I mean, like mainstream artists, I like just like, I like Kanye a lot. I like Kendrick a lot. Mac Miller is probably my favorite. Um, and then like most of the artists that I really listen to are smaller because I really like talking to them. Most of the people that I do listen to that are smaller, I have talked to them before.
Mm.
Wiley from Atlanta, I'm wearing the shirt right now. Yeah, he's really good. I like Chasey the Illest a lot. I like Berhano a lot. I like Tom the Mailman. I've interviewed a couple of those
Yeah.
guys.
So how did that come about when you were what was the first interview you did and why did you decide to start interviewing creators like that?
Honestly, at that time, I was getting more into podcasts. Like I enjoyed listening to people talk,
Mm.
and I figured I wanted to try it for myself. So I never actually had like a sit down like face to face interview with anybody, but I've done it like through my DMs and stuff where they'll just kind of like record themselves talking, and then I'll
Mm.
just edit it and put it over videos, like their music videos and stuff, and then I would put that on Instagram or YouTube. But yeah, so that's how all that went. So I want to get back into that more too. I kind of haven't really been doing any of the interviews either.
Yeah. Why do you think it was
But
important to interview smaller creators like that? Like what drove you to do
I
that?
I just I I mean a lot of them, like if you look at their Instagrams, like they don't even have as many followers as I do, and I think that's kind of unfair to them
Yeah.
because I know that they, like there's some really talented artists out there, and the only thing stopping them from just absolutely blowing up is a platform. And if I
Mm.
could help any of them by giving them a platform to do that on, then obviously I want to do that and help them
Yeah.
out.
Gotcha. So your whole thing is music. What about music makes you so passionate about it specifically? What draws you to just the music world? What do you think makes it so special?
I really don't even know, to be honest. I started the page just kind of looking for other people to talk to it about, just because I kind of enjoyed it. I was getting into artists, and like my music taste before I started it was just way different than it is now. So once I started that page and started finding like new artists that I liked and like actually listening without, because before that I never really had a reason to listen to smaller artists. I would only listen to bigger artists because other people were saying like, yeah, he's dope, like you got to listen to this album, this song, whatever. As soon as I started like listening to smaller artists, what I really liked about it is that you could kind of make your own judgment on them before like anybody else does. Like if somebody else says, oh, like this rapper's corny or whatever, then honestly it makes it like harder to listen to them because you're like, oh, I don't want to listen to corny rappers, you know.
Mm.
Like, so when it's a smaller artist and there's not really anybody saying that, giving you their opinion on like the music that they make, I kind of enjoy just like forming your own without anybody else saying anything or having an influence over what you like and what you don't.
Yeah, that's something that I used to struggle with a lot was just letting other people's opinions on artists just bog them
Yeah.
down in my mind. I hate it so much. It's the worst.
Yeah, me too. Because there would be like artists I liked before Chance dropped The Big Day, I really liked him. I
Yeah.
know there were some people who
Yeah.
didn't like him, but yeah, I was like, yeah, like this guy's dope. And then he dropped that. That wasn't really my favorite project, but yeah, just like any rappers like that where if you like it but other people don't like it, like you should still listen to it.
Yeah, the biggest
If that's what
problem
you like.
with me was watching Anthony Fantano reviews. I had to stop watching them
Yeah.
because he just
Yeah,
would keep
honestly,
rating
me too.
albums lower, and it would piss me off.
No, I feel that like Swimming by Mac Miller,
That's
one of my favorites.
a
I would rate that album
travesty,
like a
dude.
10 out of 10 at least. Like that's one of my favorite albums of all
Yeah,
time. He rated it like I think it's what, a 6 or like a 3
I think it was
even.
low. I think he rated it a 3.
A 3, yeah.
It's so stupid. That stuff is
I
so
know.
dumb. Sometimes that pisses me off. Just like putting a
No,
numerical value on art and stuff.
that just goes to show though, like he's one of the most respected critics. Like
Yeah.
if you're making music or anything, like you can't take critics' advice because there's a lot of people who think that's one of the best albums, like what Mac Miller's best album for
Yeah,
sure. There's a lot of people who
I
think
think
that
it
it's his
was.
best. And a lot of people enjoy that album. And like if there's one critic that's saying that it's not good, then like who are other critics to say that your stuff isn't good? Or like somebody who's making music, if there's people saying that it sucks, like there's somebody out there that's gonna like it eventually if you keep making more stuff. And
Yeah. It's hard for me to hate Fantano though because he's put it out there that like this is just his opinion. Like he doesn't think that he's some like
yeah.
prestigious critic. He's just like this is what I think of him. You don't have to like
Yeah, and
you
he's
shouldn't
definitely
agree with
a
it.
smart guy. Like
Yeah.
I've heard him talk. He sounds pretty educated and like yeah, he seems like he knows his stuff like a lot, but
Yeah. I guess it's just
but
more
also
upsetting. Go ahead, sorry.
music is subjective too. Like you can't just have one person's opinion affect like how objectively good it is. Like I think that album's great. He doesn't think it's good at all. Like I mean, it's all subjective. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess you got to look
one
at
person says about it.
It more makes me upset the people that watch it and then make their decisions based off it rather than the actual review.
Yeah. Like there'll be rap pages and stuff that don't put like out any reviews on any work until he posts on his page about it, and then they'll make up their opinion after his.
And it also goes the other way. Like if you don't like something but everybody else likes it, you don't have to say that you like it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like Drake, I'm not huge on. I like old Drake a lot, but there's still a lot of people who like the stuff he puts out now. I've never been big on The Weeknd. Like, there's a lot of just mainstream artists that I've never really, like, I've given them a chance. I've listened to all their stuff, but it just never really clicks for me. But that doesn't mean that they're worse than other people just because I like the other people. Like, there's some underground artists that I like, and I wouldn't say that they're better than Drake or better than The Weeknd, but I'd still rather listen to them.
One of the albums for me was like To Pimp a Butterfly. I could never get into that until like probably a year ago, and everyone was saying best album of all time. Fantano rated it a 10, I'm pretty sure, and I was just like, I just can't. Yeah. But I'd just be like, yeah, this is the best album.
No, ever. I feel that. I was like all right with that one, and then I listened to. Have you ever heard of Dissect?
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to the season about To Pimp a Butterfly on there, and I was like, whoa, like, they went into so much detail, and I never really understood like how much detail he really put into that, and like how coherent that album actually was until I listened to that, and then I was kind of blown away by all the stuff he had in there. Like,
it's crazy.
It went down to like production, like if he would make a song where he was like about when he was in Compton or something, and he would literally the guy who produced the song was like from Compton, like something like just random details like that where he would just like actually just pick like who makes this this like I don't know, it's crazy, but yeah, that album really made a lot more sense to me after I listened to that, and then I really realized like how good that was.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff like that. Like you don't actually like something until you figure out. Like for some reason, stuff just clicks after you learn some stuff about it. It's weird.
Yeah, and even after like if you don't like an album the first listen, after a couple listens, you might just like really start liking it.
Yeah. There's an album I'm thinking of right now. Oh, Mad Villainy. I couldn't get past the first track of Mad Villainy for so long until like probably a couple months ago, and now it's like my favorite album ever.
Yeah, I still haven't really gotten into that album either, but I've only given it like maybe 2 chances to listen to. But
it's kind of hard because the first track, well, not the first track, I guess the first real song, like Accordion, is so weird. It's just Doom rapping over an accordion. But for some reason, I just love it now. It's interesting.
No, I get that. Like his MF Doom, his rhyme scheme was crazy, man.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He rhymes just every single syllable with something. It's crazy. Have you ever seen like the Check the Rhyme videos?
Oh, yeah.
Where it just highlights certain parts of the words? Those are crazy. I love watching those too.
Yeah, those are some of my favorite videos. The ones where it was That's That by him. Do you know that song?
Rigor Mortis by Kendrick too.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I watched that one.
But yeah, I've heard That's That. I don't think I've seen the Check the Rhyme now.
That one was crazy. I think that was the first like Check the Rhyme video I ever watched, and it was just the whole thing was just colored, just crazy, dude. It was wild stuff.
Yeah.
So let's switch over and talk about the podcast. What's your podcast gonna be about?
Oh shit, Rita is talking about the podcast. Okay, so the podcast, our idea of what we had, we were gonna, so you know how like most podcasts, like nothing against anything, but they go into like pretty just like tell me about your backstory, like tell me where you are now, like tell me about the work that you make right now. So our idea for our podcast is it was going to be something called like something along the lines of like Rolling Stoned or Rolling Stoners.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to do with like weed, but it's more of just like the stuff that we're talking about is going to be
rappers like philosophy.
Yeah, like the rappers, like the artist philosophy. Like if it's going to be mostly music based, so we'll talk to like rappers, singers, like producers, whatever. But we're gonna ask them about like there's no other way to put it but like stoner talk. Like we're gonna talk about space. We're gonna try to talk about like philosophy, like
creative process.
Yeah, creative process, like spirituality, like what do they believe like happens after death, whatever. But yeah, we think that'll be like a pretty interesting idea to look into because
to give just people a different look at the artist and get to know them on a more personable level instead of just on more of an artist level and get to know them.
Because there's a lot of people that I listen to and I really fuck with, and I would love to know like what they think, like what's going through their head all the time. Like I hear a lot of interviews where they just ask them about like different experiences that they've had and stuff
and projects.
And that's like it's interesting stuff most of the time, but nobody really like goes like deeper.
Yeah, that's an interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just gonna say I feel like the podcast should kind of be like if the person was talking on like a therapist's couch. So like they would be thinking like we would just kind of get everything that's going on in their head, everything that they really believe. Yeah, that's the idea.
That's an interesting concept because most, like you said, most interviews, mine not excluded, are just kind of like what's your backstory, what's your interest. I'm trying to move more to like the deeper stuff within people's brains, but I think that's something that like Rogan does, because if you ever watch a Rogan podcast, it's not an interview, and he has some of those conversations that you were talking about.
What's the one on Netflix? Who's the guy who interviews? He has an episode with Kanye on there. He has an episode with Kim Kardashian.
Letterman? David Letterman?
Yeah, Letterman's really good at that, dude. The way he interviews people, it really just like somehow it just gets like deep inside their head. And it starts like I actually watched a video on how he interviews people. He starts like just kind of slowly like introducing like just surface level stuff. They talk and then they laugh for a little bit, and then he'll just like consistently start talking about like deeper and deeper questions, and he just like gets inside their head a little bit more. Like
it's literally like he's this therapy session. Like he's really,
because you can't really just he probably has a degree in something for like therapy, I bet.
Definitely some sort of psychology.
But that's the idea anyways.
So what's your goals for your podcast? Is this kind of something you want to do for a career, or just more of a hobby?
Anything I do right now, it's like if it blows up big enough, I would love to do it in the future for a career, but you can't really make too many plans around something that hasn't blown up yet. Like I'll put in work to it. I'll try to get it as big as I can. But
Can't bank your life on it.
yeah, if it happens, it happens. If not, then whatever,
Yeah,
it's just something to do for fun for now.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna wrap up here in a sec, but what's one? This is kind of a weird question, but like, what's one piece of media or like art that you've consumed over the past little while that's kind of inspired you or just pushed you to like pursue all these things you want?
There's podcast wise, definitely Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's podcast is fucking awesome. Like if I did a podcast, I would definitely look to that for a lot of like advice and a lot of what I want to do for that.
Watched Bill Burr's podcast.
Bill Burr's?
Yeah,
No, I
I
don't
love
think
Bill
so.
Burr.
Have you seen it? Bill Burr's podcast?
Yeah, I've listened to it a couple times.
You listened to it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't.
I used to watch Ear Biscuits, like Good Mythical Morning. They were weird.
That's what I grew up on, man. That was my first intro to podcasts.
Dang.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I never listened to that. I've the really the only podcast I've listened to is
And Brilliant Idiots.
I haven't heard that one either, but I've heard School of Greatness I'll listen to a lot. That's just some guy. He was like I think he was an NFL player, and now he's like a businessman. But they just talk about like what you could do for yourself to achieve what you want to achieve, stuff like that. He had an episode with Kobe.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I watched. That was the first episode I watched. That was really good. So anybody listening to this, if you want to check out another episode of a podcast, definitely watch that.
The Wolf Stand. It's with the Wolf, Jordan Belfort. It's called The Wolf Stand.
The Wolf Stand. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. But as far as like Instagram wise, I just usually look to other people's feeds. There's not a lot of accounts that have like a really good feed, but Hip Hop Colors, I think his ad is like hiphop.colors. He has a really nice feed. I've talked to him about like Photoshop and stuff like that. And then Rap Culture, it's Rap PC Culture, it's spelled. Yeah, that's run by like two people. One of them does all the Photoshop and stuff, and one of them does like the content, I think. So yeah, those two accounts I look up to a lot as far as their feed goes, and yeah, I think that's pretty much everybody.
Gotcha. What's one piece of advice you would give to somebody, not even if they're not even a hip hop page, but just somebody that wants to create a page and get out there, like get their socials out there?
Consistency, man. Consistency is everything. Definitely use hashtags if you can. If you could go like across different platforms, I'm definitely trying to get into TikTok because TikTok's a huge, like easy one to blow up on. So I've been trying to make that account. Like I've only posted I think 4 times on my TikTok, and one of the videos has like 34,000 views. One of them has like 40,000. So that's like insane numbers for an account with like less than 100 followers on it. But yeah, other than that, I would just tell them to follow Find New Vibes.
Perfect way to end it. All right, man, thanks for coming on, dude. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, bro. Have a good one.
You too, man. Peace out. Ladies and gentlemen, wasn't that a great interview with my guy, with my boy? I don't know. It's the day before we do it. I haven't done the interview yet. Are you kidding? What do you think, I'm a future? Think I'm a fortune teller? You think I just know exactly how the interview is going to go before I do it? No, I don't. Okay? I don't have that sort of power. If I did, life would be a lot easier, but I don't. You know? And now I got to do 30 minutes by myself. I have a lot of great ideas. Am I going to execute them perfectly? I don't know. You know? I told you just barely that I don't have the power to see into the future. I'm wearing a fake business hoodie from Tim Dillon. They are not available anymore. So if you didn't get one, they're not available. Did you want one? Probably not. Next week on the podcast, we're having Sabra Worldwide. Did I wear this beanie on purpose? No, I did not. Let's say that up front. I did not wear this beanie on purpose. I did not wear my Sabra beanie on purpose because we're having them on next week. But we are having them on this next week, and their clothes are super dope, and they seem like really cool guys, and I'm excited to pick their brains about creating businesses because it's pretty successful. They're doing pretty well, and it's good stuff. You know, did you guys watch the Super Bowl? I didn't watch the Super Bowl. You know, I came out for the halftime show, and I didn't know who was playing. I don't look at that side of the world. You know, I don't know who's playing the halftime show. You know, it goes a lot with what I said earlier with the book, the low information diet. I'm not worried about who's playing the Super Bowl Pepsi halftime show 50. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. So I didn't know who it was, but I was in my room watching TikTok or something during the game because I don't care about football. Let's be real. I don't care about football. Do you guys? Probably not. You know, why would you? It's boring. You know, I'm kidding. Most of you probably are normal and like football and stuff. But I was in my room TikToking, and I was like, you know what? I'll go out and watch the halftime show. I didn't know who it was. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go see who's on the halftime show. So I'm sitting there, and everybody's super excited. They're like, oh, I can't wait for this halftime show. I can't wait. This is gonna be awesome. They're gonna do great. And I'm like, wait, so who is it? And I never really got an answer. I was like, who is coming out on the halftime show? You know? And I was surprised to see when they walked out on stage that the person playing the halftime show was popular country singer Morgan Wallen. I really thought that was a bold choice, you know, after all the drama, the drama that went on with him this past weekend. I was surprised. The NFL, say what you will, they're bold. You know, they made a bold move, having Morgan Wallen, the popular country singer, come and perform the biggest show of the year after saying the N-word. Bold move. Not going to say if I support it or not, but it's bold. You don't see the NBA doing that. They get Fergie. They get Fergalicious, you know. They're not out here getting Morgan Wallen or Ninja to do the halftime show. They stay away from controversy like that. So say what you will, but they're bold. Doesn't matter if you agree with them. It was weird when Morgan Wallen came out and actually just started rapping Akon lyrics, you know, and not censoring the N-word. I thought that was a really strange way to go about it, especially considering, I'm done. I'm done with this bit. Yeah, okay. I can't do this bit for that long. But nah, I didn't watch the halftime show. I just thought it would be funny if Morgan Wallen came out and did the halftime show after he said the N-word and got canceled. Which, you know what? Okay, so for those of you that don't know, okay, for those of you who are out of the loop, Morgan Wallen apparently said the N-bomb, the big N-bomb, drunkenly the other night, and it got out, and he got canceled. What does that mean? I don't know. A lot of people are like, yeah, we canceled Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen, he's canceled. And like, I don't know what that entails, especially in this case, because most of Morgan Wallen's supporters actually say the N-word on a daily basis. And they're not, don't have the card, the pass. You know what it is. Yeah, and I heard them actually the day. I don't even know if I want to get into this. It's a little bit taboo. I heard some Morgan Wallen supporters say the N-word very aggressively. The dumbest argument that I ever hear, which is the argument that I always hear, is that black people call white people crackers, so white people should be able to call black people, bad word. And, freedom of speech and whatever, but I just don't agree. Like, just chill. Chill on the word. Why do you want to say it so bad? There's a lot of history tied to it that just, makes it taboo. And I understand we have freedom of speech in this country. That is one of the things that we pride ourselves on. If we pride ourselves on anything, it's probably that. First Amendment, for those of you who aren't Constitution buffs like I, you have the right to say it, okay? Should you? No, probably not. Can you? Yeah. You have to deal with the consequences, But why are we looking for a chance to say it, Why are we looking for a chance to say it? That's the only word I don't say. I say lots of words. I'm not going to, repeat them right here on the podcast because there's no need to. But I do say most words that are considered offensive. That is the one word I don't say. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't see a problem with that. I chill. I relax. I don't say, you call us cracker, I can call you bad word. I relax. I see Morgan Wallen says the N-word. You know what I do? I relax. I chill. You know what I'm saying? This is something people need to do more, is a chill. No matter who you are, no matter what you believe, chill. If you're a hard, white people should say the N-word person, then chill. And if you're a hard white people should never say the N-word, and if they do, they should be killed, chill. Let's all chill. We're touching taboo topics today because I have no fear or audience. And I can say whatever I want. That gives me free reign. Nobody listens to this. I can say whatever I want. I could say the N-word right now. Not going to. Probably going to cut that out. I probably won't. I'll probably forget. What am I talking about? Morgan Wallen said the N-word. Who cares? Move on. Tesla invested. They didn't invent it. They invested $1.5 billion into popular cryptocurrency Bitcoin. The Bitcoin. The coin. They invested in the coin. Haven't we all? Not me. I haven't. Sorry, Peter McCormack. Peter McCormack, dude, I first of all, this is pretty sick. And they're also set to start accepting cryptocurrency for purchases. I think it's a good step in the right direction. Which is cool. The stock reached its peak today, which is really awesome. I've been dabbling in the stock market. I invested in this company called Churchill, which is I saw it on TikTok, okay? I'm going to be transparent. I saw it on TikTok. I'm on Stock Talk now, where everybody talks about their stocks and investing. And so this one was like, yo, you got to invest in the stock. They're about to merge with this Lucid Motors company that is, they're going to start production in June, and they're going to blow Tesla out of the water. The stock's going to shoot up, skyrocket once this deal's made. It's going to be crazy. So I was like, all right, yeah, whatever. So I go in. It's like $15 a share. So I buy 2 shares. They go up, as the rumors start spreading more. They go up to 20, 25. I think it finally reached 37 maybe. And then people were like, yeah, the deal's not happening. And I was like, okay. So it goes immediately down. It was a nice steady, and then it just shot straight down to 20. I want to say 27. Yeah, probably $27 a share. And so I pulled out. I pulled out of the stock after a $12 per share, growth. I pulled out of the stock, and it was a tough decision for me. Do you continue? What if it got to thousands of dollars? I could buy a new Mac laptop. But it didn't, and I don't think it is. But now it's back up to 35. I'm not good at the stock market, all right? I don't know anything about stocks or numbers. I know how to talk to myself in a basement for minutes on end. It used to be hours. It's minutes now. I don't know anything about money. Sue me. No, don't actually. I don't know anything about money, so I couldn't combat it. Tesla invested $1.5 billion. I think this is a good step for crypto, dude. A lot of people, I had this conversation. So I'm taking this finance class, right? This is going to get out to the people. I'm taking this finance class, and they're talking about I don't know, something. I wasn't listening. And all of a sudden they bring up cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and they were like, yeah, Bitcoin is probably the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my life. And I sunk in my chair. I was like this. I sunk way back in my chair because, I had my boy Peter on, and that guy's like a crypto expert. He's a Bitcoin man, the Bitcoin master. And so I learned a lot about Bitcoin, and I promoted a lot of Bitcoin stuff on my podcast, on the program. And then these people were like, yeah, Bitcoin's so stupid. You can track every payment. And I was like, no, it's the opposite. Nobody can track your payment. That's why it's being pushed for so much. It's not the same as like a debit card. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. Nobody can track it. There's no third party. It's you sending to the other person. Nobody is in between. That's why it's not being pushed as much as it should be. If they could track it, if the government could track everything, they would push it more. But they're not, because they can't track it. So they're doing the opposite. Anyways, yeah, so they were like, this is the dumbest thing. And then this other kid who, you know, I love him to death, but, you know, ticks me off sometimes. He's like, hey, how are you supposed to teach your kids the value of money with cryptocurrency? Huh? What? How are you supposed to pay your kid to mow the lawn with cryptocurrency? I was like, what? Value of money. He said this. It's just a number. If it's cryptocurrency, it's just a number. Huh? What? If you give your kids $30, what is it? 30. That's a number. 30. If the kid mows the lawn, you pay him $15, 15. That's the number. You know? It's always a number. It's always been a number. Just because it's a physical thing that you can hold, I don't know. It's not getting accepted as much as I thought it would be into society. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of upsetting. But hopefully this pushes it to a new direction. A new direction for the future of crypto. I saw this article where this kid was in a coma in Britain for the past year. And he had no idea. He just woke up. He had no idea COVID was a thing. Is that not crazy? I feel like so many people have made TikToks about like, when you, POV, you wake up from a coma in 2021 and everybody's wearing masks. And it's like, I don't know, Coldplay, and it's like, you know what I'm talking about? I'm sorry if I'm off today. In chemistry, I sniffed some like ammonium hydroxide and I haven't recovered. I lost multiple brain cells. I'm certain. So this kid wakes up from a coma, right? In Britain, he gets hit by a car. Sad story. Gets hit by a car. And this is actually really disturbing. He gets hit by the car, goes into a coma 2 weeks before the worldwide shutdown. March 1st is when that happens, when he gets hit by the car. Goes down into a coma. The world gets shut down, flip-flopped, upside down, inside backwards, outside. You know? And then he was in a coma during all this COVID stuff, and his family couldn't go visit him because the hospitals wouldn't let him. They were communicating with him through like video conferencing. They were like Zooming. This isn't funny. This is not funny. They were Zooming their kid that was in a coma and talking to him through Zoom. And they said he could like communicate and stuff, which is odd. Is that normal? I don't know anything. Is that normal for like people in comas to be like, they said he could like blink to like respond yes or no? I don't know. You know, I'm not a doctor, but they couldn't visit him. And apparently he got COVID twice too while he was in a coma. Wild. Got COVID twice, never even knew it was existent. And then he wakes up. I guess he just woke up. I just saw it. He wakes up and doesn't know. Looks around, everyone's wearing masks. He's like, what's going on here? What did I wake up in Japan? That's not racist. It's a respect thing. They do it out of respect. Did I wake up in Japan? Why is everyone wearing masks? You know? What happened to, you know? Is MF Doom going to put out any more projects? Nobody. No, buddy. Sorry to break it to you, you know. Is Larry King doing an interview with MF Doom tonight? No, sir. No, sir. Lots has happened in the past year. Oh, is Trump tweeting? No. Mm-mm. No, sir. Trump will not be tweeting today. Trump will not be tweeting today. Oh, dude. How funny is that? He wakes up from a coma. Gets on Twitter. Oh, man. I can't wait to see what this man's has been up to since I've been gone. I cannot wait to see what this man's has been up to since I've been gone. Oh, that's hilarious, actually. This account has been suspended. Why was it suspended? Mom, why was Donald Trump's account suspended? I don't know, son. You know? They raided the Capitol building. And then all of a sudden, you know, he can't tweet anymore. Yeah. That's wild. Imagine that. Imagine going to sleep and then you wake up and everything's different. You know? Oh, I just got like random shivers, dude. You know, like you wake up, everything you knew before doesn't really exist anymore. You know, going to the movies with your boys, going into restaurants without masks. Life has shifted. You know, I saw this one TikTok that was like, it was like the stupidest TikTok ever, but I liked it anyways. It was this girl and she had like a mask on like her head. And it was like girls in 20, I don't know what it was, like 2070 or something. And they were like, "Oh man, I found a bunch of these masks in my grandmother's closet. They're so vintage, huh? They're so trendy." It was like showing all these things that are going on right now, and you know, you don't really think about that stuff. Like we're in the 20s right now. Like what happened? What happened in 1920, dude? World War I probably was just getting over. The Roaring 20s. That's when everything changed. Everything changed in the 1920s. Everything. There was like new technology. Women, you know, were changing. It was a weird thing to say, but they were. Like I learned about the Roaring 20s. You know, businesses were changing. Government was changing. I feel like the 20s in the past century, what was it, 20th century? The 20s were like the most pivotal years, probably. Any historians wanna at me, you know, bring it. But that's like really weird, because it seems like a lot of the stuff this past year has shifted. Dude, how much cool stuff has gone down since just in the first month and what are we, 8th? The first month and like a week. The first 5 weeks of this new year have been insane. I wasn't there, but people raided the Capitol building. Okay? That's crazy. The dude with the horns, you know. Donald Trump got suspended from all of, you know, his stuff, all of the social media stuff, even Pornhub, which is still hilarious. We like Robinhood, dude. This stuff with Robinhood is so crazy that they just like these gamers just destroyed Wall Street. And then Wall Street was like, "Nah, no, you can't." And so they cut it off. That happened. You know, hedge fund managers lost billions. And it's been like 5 weeks, dude. What's going to happen? How many weeks are there? 52? Quick math. We're like 1/10 of the way through. Just about. You know? 1/10 and all that stuff has already happened. That was like maybe one of those things would happen in like 2014, and we were just like, oh man, that was crazy that happened in 2014. Remember that 2014 when that happened? Now it's like, oh dude, remember January when all that stuff happened? Remember when all that stuff happened in January of 2021? We're going to have to rethink the whole calendar around like insane events that happen. We're going to, like, it used to be like one every, like, 5 or 10 years, something crazy would happen. But now it's like one every week. So we have to, like, space it out again. It's interesting how time works. It's interesting that time, it never stops. It's always moving. Time is always moving forward. It's never stopped, and it never will stop. It's never gone back. It's never gone, like, too much forward. It's never stopped. It goes at the same pace, always. There's no such thing as it. It doesn't exist. People say it's February 8th, 2021, 6:36 p.m., Mountain Standard Time. What does that mean? It's not real, It's a weird concept to think about. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to start doing, like, some Omegle stuff on here. Like, maybe when I plan it better. I was going to do it today, but I was like, nah, we haven't planned it enough. Maybe in the future, I'll do first half, like, 30 minutes interviews and stuff. Then maybe second half, I do, I don't know, like 10, 15 minutes rambling, talking about stuff. I don't know how much you guys like this. I don't know how coherent this is. Maybe like 10, 15 minutes rambling, and then like 10, 15 minutes like talking to people on Omegle. Like a serious, like, long form, not just like goofing, like, oh, dude, what you do? What? You like Hitler? No, we won't do that. I'll like interview them. I think that would be interesting. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm working on a video. I want to get a video out by the end of the month. For you guys, and it'll be good, one a month. I want to start doing videos because I like doing it. So we'll see where that goes. Also, for merch, get it fast. I think I'm going to shut down the store for good at February, the last Saturday in February. I don't know what it is, 27th, I think. February 27th. That is when the merch will be done. So if you want merch, get it. If you don't, I don't care. Don't get it. I'm out here just making stuff for you guys. It's your choice whether or not you want to partake. All right? Okay. I think that's going to wrap this up for this episode. Thank you guys for listening. You are the reason I get out of bed in the mornings. Let me know what you thought of this episode. If you liked it, leave it a like. If you didn't like it, leave it a dislike. I don't care. Helps me either way. If you have something to say or don't, even if you don't have something to say, like if you just want to comment, like, I don't know, comment like Morgan Wallen or something on this podcast, if you're on YouTube, comment something. It helps me. Send it to your friends, that always helps. If you're on iTunes, leave a review. Just do what you can. It's all free, guys. You're not paying for any of this, It's all free. So it would be nice if you helped me out. I appreciate it. Thank you guys very much. I love you. Good night.